So, we've dispelled the notion that good research ideas are best understood as flashes of brilliance. Now, several of you said that another roadblock you face is that the myth of the flash of a great idea is usually accompanied by the word brilliant. One of you said that when I finally do think of something, it seems dumb.
Yeah, that was me. I sometimes doubt my ability to do the kind of research we talk about in class and read in our textbooks. It's kind of intimidating.
So you think, as somebody else in here said, important insight is beyond my ability?
I said that, and I agree. There's no way I'm going to come up with something like a professor.
We need to talk about those feelings. They're real obstacles to beginning researchers. I certainly felt that way when I was a student. So do ideas, especially the really good ones, occur to solitary, special people? Should we accept as true the brilliance in the phrase flashes of brilliance, even though ideas don't typically flash?
Even though I know those questions are setups, I still think they're true. Einstein's ideas were exactly common.
True enough. There are certainly uniquely gifted people in the world. But saying that gifted people produce great ideas is not the same thing as saying that good ideas are only produced by gifted people. Good ideas as the brainchild of brilliant people may make for better stories, but these are stories that poorly describe reality. For every Einstein, there may be hundreds of Philo T. Farnsworths.
Phil T. who?
Farnsworth. You've got a smartphone. Look him up.
Wikipedia says he's an American inventor and television pioneer. He made many contributions to the early development of all electronic television. He is best known for inventing the first functioning video camera tube, as well as the first complete television system.
He is often thought of as the father of television. I think you might agree he had some good ideas. Ever heard of him?
No, never. It seems a little surprising, though, given the impact television has had on the world today.
We can easily identify many more such unsung idea people. The vast majority of those that develop new technologies and ideas are not geniuses. They're motivated, regular people. Good ideas, even great ones, are more widely spread among many more people than the great person mythology might suggest. Reality departs from the mythology in one more important respect. Many good ideas are not the product of single individuals at all. In addition to Farnsworth, many individuals contributed to the development of the television, some working in collaboration, others simply learning from the work that was done before. In fact, studies find that good research ideas occur in environments where people from different backgrounds and different fields of experience get together and share.
That's a pretty broad conclusion. How would a researcher even observe that?
Good question. Let's briefly look at one such study. It was conducted by Kevin Dunbar. Dunbar is a professor of human development and quantitative methodology at the University of Maryland. He's written extensively on the ways that scientists think and reason. In one of his most well-known studies, he went to science labs around the world and filmed people doing all sorts of typical laboratory functions. He was even able to record conversations at lab meetings. He did all of this in an attempt to document the moment when an important research idea was born. When you think of researchers working in a laboratory trying to develop a new idea, what do you picture?
Well, I guess I see someone in a white lab coat, hunched over a microscope, staring intently at test tubes.
That's certainly the myth. What would the moment of discovery look like?
I guess, although we've talked about how it isn't true, that I would picture the person in the lab coat suddenly yelling, "I found it! I solved the problem! I discovered the cure!"
You are both describing the classic eureka moment by a solitary researcher. But that's not what Dunbar found. When he looked at all those hours and hours of video, what he found is that almost all of the breakthroughs he saw did not happen to solitary researchers alone in cluttered labs. Those ideas were born around a conference table during the weekly lab meeting, when everybody got together to share their latest findings, their mistakes, and the difficulties they were struggling with. The free-flowing, give-and-take environment inspired the ideas worth pursuing. When people with different backgrounds, different interests, and different experiences come together to exchange ideas, a creative space emerges that leads to innovative thinking. Do Dunbar's results surprise you?
Yeah, they do. Most of the ideas we talk about in class or read in a book are accredited to a single author. We never talk about communities of scholars or creative spaces.
Right. We're taught from really early on that our schoolwork should be our own. It's like our entire student experience leads us to naturally conclude that work and is done by individuals.
Yeah, but more than that even, great discoveries go hand in hand with great people. E equals MC squared and Einstein, Apple and Steve Jobs, Microsoft and Bill Gates.
If research really does progress in the way that Dunbar says it does, why is no one telling us about it?
So why does anyone feel surprised when we feel intimidated by this process?
Hey, I agree with you. Teachers and textbooks don't do a good job of teaching you about the early stages of the research process. That's the reason we're talking about these issues. These are things you must understand if you are to overcome your feelings of inadequacy, of dumbness, when you try to develop your own research ideas. To paraphrase the words of one researcher, we don't teach you to be usefully stupid. Research ideas begin with the willingness of a researcher to embrace his or her own stupidity about a topic.